I just realized that the Argans are in a very tough situation right now because they only have one single sector left. And it's right in between pirates and probably a Xenon sector to the north. So they won't make it if we don't help them out. But for now they should be safe because very small factions are ignored by other empires. So the worst that could happen to them that they are getting destroyed by Xenon patrol, for example. But they should be able to rebuild soon because all wars have stopped and all their crafting will be free. So they should survive, I believe, but they likely won't make it out of this corner if we don't take these Xenon out first. So this will be a mid-term goal to focus on that. But for today, I actually want to set up a small defensive perimeter around my first sector. Because we also have a pirate base up to the north. Some polices are keeping this area clean, but every now and then a pirate slips through and I don't want to send my trade ships out too far. I just restarted one of the traders and he's currently selling. He's actually in the same sector. Where is he? He's currently selling energy. So that is beginning to work. But he's going to another sector south, which has 3 crystal fabs. So this is probably a good place to sell our energy. But I really don't like this area because there are frequent pirate activity and the Xenon are a bit close. I believe this is also a Xenon sector. We have to scout that area out soon. For now, I limited the worker range of my outpost to 2 sectors so that my worker ships are not leaving the area that much. And now I want to set up a basic defense around my sector. So I already have 1 patrol and we're going to activate another one. But first I want to get back on track with my taxi ship. I want to reach Paranit space because I already have good standing with the Teladi. We don't need that much reputation with them. And I want to focus a bit more on the other factions because eventually we will set up another sector and then we will need that reputation. So now I'm looking for ships which are suited to become another patrol, and these pirate designs, the Penetron and these Susanovas, are very fast. And this is a prime feature for patrol ships. They're able to reach enemies very quickly. So I'm making this Penetron a fleet commander. And then I'm going to add these 2 other pirate ships. I also build weapons for this one, so I'm going to equip them now. If they are already complete.
Plasma burst generator installed.
Oh, he doesn't have enough cargo space for those weapons. That's interesting. So I need to give him some other weapons.
Plasma burst generator removed.
For example, the energy bolt chain gun. Let's build 6 more, should be quick. I'm now getting a steady supply of crystals because I have the crystal fab already set up. And I'm probably establishing a second one too because we need that for our jump beacons later on. But the research lab is still in construction. So once the energy bolt chain guns are finished, I'm going to equip the last pirate ship. Here you can see the first patrol in action. They detected an enemy in the sector, then traveled here. Now they will take it out and then head back to my home system. So let's equip this ship. Was the energy bolt chain gun. We can also not hold 8 of them. This is a very special ship.
Energy bolt chain gun removed.
It doesn't have sufficient cargo space for the most basic weaponry, so I might adjust that in my rebalance mod. So what else can we give him? You know what, I'm just going to strip this ship and recycle it. Yeah, the statistics and performance of Mayhem ships has been balanced with a external program, so it actually hasn't been considered by a human that this ship has that much cargo space. It was an algorithm. So I'm just using another one. For example, this Nova Raider here is also very fast. I'm going to give him the Penetron as fleet commander. And then this one is equipped. Also the Penetron. So we have this small fleet with 3 ships in it. And now I'm going to tell the Penetron to patrol the sector, my home system. Just one sector, so it's basically the same as a standard defense order. You will simply fly around and search for enemies. Now let's make the other ships join him. And now we're going to set up the actual fleet settings. I'm going to lower the patrol timer, which is not really relevant in this case, but I'm going to set up a very restrictive retreat order. So as soon as they detect a very strong enemy, for example a pirate corvette, they're going to retreat up to 2 sectors. But this increases their survivability a lot. The scanning range for the commander is very high, so they scan the entire sector. Scanning range for the followers is at the lowest, so they stay together. And then we're going to set up a rename pattern. Just going to call this Patrol B. Then give them a number and a ship type. And if we hit rename, then these ships are now renamed, that we can identify them as patrol ships. And now I'm going to add sectors they should monitor. So sectors which will be kept clean of enemies. And I'm going to add my home system and the sector to the south here. So they are like keeping my south flank clean. And the other patrol, I'm going to change them because they were monitoring this entire sector cluster, my home system, and one sector adjacent to. And now I'm going to limit them to this area. so that we have two fleets. One fleet is protecting the north and one fleet is protecting the south. And if any enemy makes it to my home system, then either of them can respond to that. So this gives me maximum safety in that area. So we're going to remove all monitored sectors from the other fleet, the original one. I'm just going to add the home system and the north system. So the first patrol are also 3 fighter ships, which are quite speedy. And we're going to set the other patrol to ignore big ships, because they're not strong enough to take on corvettes. I just want them to take down these small enemy fighters, which are all over the place, and which can be devastating to your traders once you start to send them out very far. I also assigned this trader here as a fleet commander and gave him some escort ships. Probably a bit overkill. I might lower that down to 2 fighters. But we will see. I just want to play it safe for now because there isn't really any time pressure or any reason to rush this. And we can also build another factory and deploy our research station. So I would like to build the advanced satellite factory, but we don't have sufficient ore. So I will just continue with the original plan and build another crystal fab. Get that on the way.
Outpost.
And then load the finished research station into my large transport.
Research station.
And place it down. So we are going to undock the Ryu. And then build the research station. Bit out of the way of the main shipping lanes.
Research station. Alpha.
Up here. And then what was the research button? I forgot it, but we can also enter here. Now, what ship do I want to research? I want some basic designs first. I think I already selected one. Let me check that. Some freighter with very high speed and also decent cargo space, but also low cost. I think it was the split version, the Cayman Super Freighter, not the XL version because they are very expensive, but the standard version is really cost efficient, very speedy, has enough cargo space for most factories. This will be my main workhorse. If the research cost is actually not screwing me over, because these are randomly increased for certain ships, that you are encouraged to use different ship designs between different games. But the Cayman is actually standard, so I'm going to research that. It's going to be quite quick, maybe an hour or so. And then I'm going to follow up with another ship, which is the largest standard freighter with the largest cargo space. And I'm going to show you what that's about later. And we could also start to build a small fleet, because I finally managed to scan a combat ship from the Paranet. Just going to build Yeah, one of them for now with a slightly lower quality to save some resources. And then we're going to create a template for this ship and build some more of them. Now, what does the Perseus need? We already have one of them. He has 3 shields, 8 lasers, and 1 turret. I'm just going with the fragmentation bomb launcher. So build 9 of those. And 3 shields. Get this going. So as you can see, the new patrol here is already doing their job. They're just scanning for enemies. So I can really recommend these small patrol fleets. These, I once called them hunter groups, and that's a very fitting name because they're really able to surgically sweep those pesky pirate fighters. All the same, they are avoiding heavier fights like xenon patrols or pirate corvettes. So these are really effective, very, very cost effective to protect your space. Not entirely shut it down, but make it a whole lot safer. Because we have frequent pirate activity in this area. Now the ship is complete, so let's equip it. Oh, we got quite some shielding.
Megajoule shield installed. Fragmentation bomb launcher installed.
Give him the weapons. Oh, damn, which one was it? Okay, this one was the original one. This one is the new one, so I'm going to rename him quickly, template, because that's the one we want to base our template on. So let's check his weapons. Turrets are okay. I'm going to set the missile resupply setting and actually add 2 chaff to him, countermeasures, so that he will grab them to get some basic missile defense, because in my rebalance mod, all ships have a certain small level of missile defense if you give them chaff. And by adding this resupply setting to the template, you can make them use chaff when it is available, but it's not required to make the ship considered to be complete. I'm also going to add some basic missile, so if we have one of those available, they will equip it. Because if I could also add the chaff manually and actually load. I have 27 units, and I could load those 2 units into the ship right now. But if I create a template which has the chaff in the actual cargo hold, then you would always need to have this chaff when building the ships, and otherwise they would not be considered complete if you build them without the chaff. So that might be a bit confusing, but it gives you much more flexibility if you just set a resupply setting so the missiles can be added later. And the ship is actually allowed to undock when it's completed from the outpost. And you don't have to wait until any missiles are available. So that's another trick if you want to use missiles. For now, I'm going to add the Perseus, and I'm going to call it fragmentation bomb launcher. And as you can see, the missile resupply is actually set. So it's not part of the equipment, it's not part of the cargo hold, it's just part of the configuration. So if a new ship is built with that template and these missiles are available, then they will get loaded, I believe. But at the very least, a fleet resupply ship will add them later. So that's very handy. And now I'm going to build some more of these ships with the actual template. Like, yeah, we can build 6. Let's do that. And then we are a whole lot closer on taking that pirate base down.